For a very long time, the history of Sardinia and the Sardinians was the history of wheat, from which it obtained its principal source of nourishment, bread. Everything rotated around the wheat industry. A good or bad year was measured upon the size of the harvest, and the most valuable thing in any household was wheat, the primary source of life. Since it was so precious, wheat was kept inside specific containers, such as a chest. It was essential that wheat was kept safely, since it was the source of the principal food. The bride brought her trousseau sustreju e venu, a kind of set of baskets, sieves, rolling pins, etc., all of which were essential tools for making bread. They were given a special area inside the home, sardome e vara. This room was under the control of the ladies. Men and children were not allowed inside during bread baking days. Many of these ancient tools are still sought after by collectors. The small ethnographic exhibit, supervised by the local tourist office, offers a look into daily life and activities and tells much about bread. It is no coincidence that both this exhibit and the Archaeological Museum are located at the Monte Granatico, the Mount of Wheat, established in 1767 at Villa Cidro. This kind of facility was present throughout Sardinia at the time and played a fundamental role in peasant economy. It also guaranteed to the poorest of all the possibility of sowing their fields every year. Evidence of the Nuragic era also tells of the presence of wheat at the Monte Granatico. One of women bent over ancient stone mills for many hours. They were eventually replaced by small domestic grinders that have always marked the lives of the peasants from dawn to dusk. The small mills have now been substituted by modern facilities. Villa Cidro still has its Mulino Cardoni mill. The imposing structure is split into 3 levels and once hosted the modern grinding machines and all phases of flour making. The mill stands next to the washhouse and not very far from the Monte Granatico, and to this day has many stories to tell about wheat. That is not all though. Villa Cidro is still the town of wheat and bread. There are many bakeries that still follow the ancient tradition and bake typical local breads like civraju, kokoi, pistoccu, and many more. There are many surprises in store for those strolling through the streets in town. At certain hours of the day, the fragrances of bread and cakes fill the streets, inviting all to discover ancient flavors. Many bakeries open the doors to their workrooms upon request and demonstrate how bread is prepared with age-old recipes. Many great honors and many religious and traditional holidays are dedicated to wheat. On New Year's Day, there is the ancient ritual of offering a dish called sudrigu cottu, which is prepared with boiled wheat and wine must, as a good omen for the year that has just begun. At Easter time, the wheat is planted in vases and grown in the dark, so that it becomes very light-coloured, su neniri, and is then placed on the altar as an offering to the Madonna and the resurrected Jesus. In May, the holiday dedicated to Sant'Isidore also pays tribute to wheat, the fields, and the peasant community.